Hi everyone, I'm Juliana. I'm a personal trainer, yoga and fitness instructor, and today we're going to be doing some exercises for hip mobility and to loosen up the lower body. This I would consider like an intermediate to more advanced level. If you feel that coming down to your mat is uncomfortable for you, we have one that's more beginner friendly on the chair that you can always do to help also release into your hips and get a little bit more mobility and some stretches for the lower body. So we're going to start here today on our mat. And if you don't have a mat, it could be a rug or someplace that you feel comfortable that you can lay down and move your hips enough space to do that. So as we come down, just making sure that your body feels supported, you feel comfortable here. I like breaking the knees into the chest for a couple of seconds just to rock the body a little side to side, maybe back and forth, or even circling it around. This will help to loosen the lower back, but also helps with that little bit soothing of the nervous system and start to release some tension into those hips, right? So it's a great way to always to start your practice and finish with this because it's really nice and relaxing. From here, we're going to open our feet perhaps a little bit wider and almost to the edges of your mat. And even if you don't have a sticky mat, just make sure that's wide enough. And we're just going to start to do some windshield wiping of the legs. So in the beginning, the movement might be a little bit smaller, but then you can start to add more by taking the legs more closely down to the mat. You're going to feel some internal rotation of the hips. Again, this also helps with the synovial fluid into your joints. And this is also an area that has a lot of lymph nodes. So helping with pumping and moving things for that lymphatic system, your immune system of the legs. Great job. All right, so after a few of these, we are just going to extend the leg out to the front. And now we're going to try to drag the heel, bring it into your chest as high as you can, move it out to the side, and then slide it out. So you're going to do a few of these on one side, moving it out to the side, dragging it out, and then you can start to do the same the opposite way, and back down, and then sliding it out to the side, up, and back in. Now remember, you can always start to do the other side as well. Open, sliding it out and through, bringing it in, out to the side, sliding it out, and then doing the opposite to the side, in and forward. And you can always do these for maybe 15 to 20 seconds on each side. Now from this, I'm going to start to move it around a little bit more. We're going to bring ourselves to the side and finding ourselves into a seat. Just similar to what we did before with those legs wide, I'm going to be facing you and moving those legs side to side. So it becomes a little easier for you to see. Right, so again, similar to that windshield wiping, now we're starting to sit down. I'm going to add more to this by shifting the weight to one side, and now we're coming into what we call a 90-90 because it looks like there's two 90-degree angles with the legs. The back one can move a little bit more. It's not so important. It's the front one that we're more interested here. We're going to inhale, lifting to the chest, and as we exhale, start to walk your hands forward. And as you start to hinge forward, you're going to get a stretch into your glutes. So this is similar to a figure four on your back or a figure four seated on a chair that you might have seen sometimes. You can also walk yourself a little further down. Now, I didn't include the props, but if you'd like to add some blocks to this, you can take those blocks under your elbows and you can stay here for a few seconds. And after a few seconds, if you feel that you don't need the blocks, you can bring yourself a little further down. We're going to bring our hands back up to support. Now, to become more of a mobility exercise, you try not to use your hands and see if you can turn yourself to the other side. And now from here, we do the same thing. We start to hinge. Again, you can always put blocks under. Maybe you let the body release. And as you're doing this, try to relax the neck and the shoulders. The softer you are, the deeper you go. So you start to use gravity, your body here, to support you. And again, you can always hold this about 20 seconds each. We're going to bring ourselves back up. And again, try not to use your hands. Can we stay here on this side? So sometimes when you start to move, you're going to start to feel like you're moving off your mat, so you can always adjust yourself here. So on this one, now we're gonna hinge back, and it's gonna be a different sensation. So as you bring your hands back, we're gonna stretch a little bit more into the front of that hip flexor. So bringing your hands behind you, tucking your pelvis, navel pulls in, and you're gonna start to feel a deeper stretch here. Again, if this feels too much, don't go that far, right? You can always add more by going further back or staying a little bit higher. And coming back again into front, this time as we hinge, we're gonna lift the back leg. So it's gonna work more into the back of the leg. You lift it a couple times. A little kickstand back there, lifting. All right, and then we're gonna move it to the other side, just like you did before. You can adjust, you can hinge over, right? And then you can start to hinge back to get into the stretch. I'm moving a little bit faster on this side. We've done it before, and again, you can always pause your video, stay a little bit longer or less, right? And then again, as you hinge slightly forward, picking up the back leg, giving that little lift and kick, working the back. Excellent. And then we're going to come back to the center, and now giving your legs a little bit of a shake. You can spread the legs wider to go into a forward fold and getting more into the hips, if that is okay for you. But if you feel that you want to go deeper, we can come into almost like a butterfly here with the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. And this one, as you bring your hands behind you, let your knees try to move a little further down. And can you push into your hands to lift your hips and bring it a little bit more forward? You're definitely going to feel this on your groins and your hips, and then you maybe slide it back, adjust it again, and then move it forward. Nice. Chest is lifted. Knees are trying to move away from each other, and then back. All right. Just give your legs a little bit of a shake. Release it out, extending it out. So moving around, now we're going to come into our tabletop. All right. So perhaps on this one, if you feel that you need more support, right, because this is more of a intermediate to maybe advanced, so perhaps in advanced you don't need the blocks, but maybe you start to play with the blocks to start. Being on your hands and knees, we're going to take 1 foot forward. I'm actually going to use the my right leg and just being sideways here to you. So I'm gonna tuck the tail, navel's gonna pull in, and you start to lengthen your spine. So you can use your hands here on your thighs. If you feel that you needed to use your hands on the blocks to come back up, we're trying to find a 90-degree angle with that front leg. And here, as you tuck your pelvis, your navel pulls in, your chest lifts, you're getting a nice stretch on the front of your hip flexors, your quadriceps. This is the one that we do seated sideways on a chair. If you sit in that video, we can always inhale, reach the arms up, find a little bit more reach. And as we exhale, we cactus, so that right hand can come to your hip or to a block and to the side, and that left arm can reach up and over. This is going to increase the stretch, right? So just making sure that you're not dumping forward, but you're tucking the tail to carry that hip forward to get a deeper stretch. All right, our next one, we're going to fold over the legs. So you're going to hinge your right toes forward. You press into your right heel. Your hands can stay here on the blocks, your hips push back, and you fold over your right leg. So now you're feeling the stretch on the back of your right leg, your hamstrings. And again, relax the head and soften the jaw. And if you feel that you don't need the block, your hands can come down. You're just letting your body fold over the leg, and then perhaps even relax your head, give it a little nod there. Again, noticing the sensations on the back of that leg. Beautiful. From here, we're going to move, and I'm going to turn the hips forward. So your left foot's going to just sneak behind you. So we come into bending into the knee, and now we're moving the hips laterally. So you're getting this stretch on the inside, right? Just making sure your knee is safe. You're not pushing too much. All right. And from that, we're going to turn it around. Bring your hands in, extend that leg, and add a little side-to-side movement. Great job. We're going to take this to the other side. So you're going to turn it around. You're going to drop your back knee. And again, walking your hands up or using your blocks here. Tucking your pelvis, navel pulling in, chest lifting, right? Again, these are the muscles that get really shortened when we stay seated very long. So this will really help you to release. Engage your core. And when you're ready, Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, perhaps you cactus your arms and open the heart. Again, you can stay with your left hand onto your hip. You can take that right arm, if it's your right knee that's down, and reach it up and across so you get a deeper stretch through the side body. And exhale, release. Now when we're here, we're gonna fold over the legs again, using blocks under your hands or shimmy that foot. Press the heel, toes are up, and you fold over your leg. Again, softening the neck, the jaw. Just finding some release here. And taking your time to bend the knee, slide the foot a little bit more forward. And we're gonna turn this to the side. So you're gonna pivot your back foot, the foot behind you. So you're coming up, and now you get to open a little bit more into the legs as you slide to the side. Good. Just being careful not to go too far with that knee beyond the toes, right? And we're gonna pause back. And now when you're ready, we're gonna take the hands down so we can extend the back leg, turn the toes so they're parallel, and you find this side-to-side movement. Again, if this feels too much, you can always stay a little bit higher up, right? Or you can stay down. And if you really wanna work with your balance, more mobility, less hands, makes it a little harder, right? And then we're gonna turn it back to the center where we started. Allow that leg perhaps to come out to the side. And again, you're making sure that your toes and knees are pointing in the same direction. So maybe you turn the toes to the side, the blade of the foot. You can drop one hand down. And inhaling, letting the other arm go up and back. Beautiful. And then pausing back to the center on the inside. You can stay here. Or you can start to, again, add those blocks. Perhaps they come halfway under your elbows. And if you feel that you don't need it, you can even come all the way down, right? So everybody's going to be different. This is a more intermediate to advanced video. And you can always add or subtract on your own. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, making sure when you move to the other side, you turn your toes, you drop. You stay down. You can keep that hand down. You take the other arm just to release. Get into the back. Release it out. Bring the hands down and turning the toes a little bit more to the side blade of the foot. So you can let the knee go out. And then just making sure your toes and knees are pointing in the same direction. So even if you're not coming to the blade, if your knee is opening a little bit more, your toe is going to be also in that direction. So relax your head and then allowing maybe one elbow and then the other to come down. Again, coming down just makes it a little bit harder, more intense into the hips. You don't have to. So you can always modify, add or subtract here on your own. And as we exhale, we're going to release. We're going to bring that leg back in. And we're going to return back to our seat. And just to finish once again, with the same way as we started, to release into the back. So give your knees a big hug here. Gentle rock side to side, perhaps even circling it around. A twist might be really nice and helpful for that back as well. As you drop your knees to one side, your arm opens to the opposite. You can relax your head. You breathe a little deeper into that side body, and then you take it to the other side. Knees drop to the opposite. You relax your head. And again, you take your breath a little deeper into the lower back, into your hips. All right, we come back to the center. Any form or way that works for you to come up. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. And just check out the other videos that we have. I'll leave you always the information.